So in this tutorial, I'm going to go over how to handle social media at scale and to really deliver a content marketing strategy that makes sense. Typically, when I run into small businesses, they look at social media and they might post on Twitter, and then they'll post a new piece of content on Pinterest, and then maybe they'll go to Facebook and post a new piece of content there. Maybe they'll go to YouTube and create something there. And maybe they'll go into Snapchat and they'll just sort of post unique pieces of content all over the place. And typically with this strategy, you're spending a lot of time creating new pieces of content, and they're not really connected in a sense. They're sort of new pieces that you spent a lot of time on each piece, but there's no real interconnectedness. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to introduce the hub and spoke model here. And this hub and spoke essentially means you're going to choose a platform that you like. So let's say YouTube. Okay, this is a platform that you like. I still look at YouTube as a social media platform, but this platform is something that you like to post to regularly, something that you really enjoy using, okay? Could be a blog, could be your Instagram account. It really depends on what you do. Maybe you're an artist and you create artwork and you want to do Instagram. That's fine. So you're going to choose your main platform, right? In this example, we're using YouTube. And you're going to post, you're going to create one piece of content that's fairly substantial, right? It has significant value. And really that could be as simple as like an image, or it could be text. And in this case, video works really well. But I can take a video that I've created, right? And what I can do, and this is the hub, and we're going to create spokes. Okay? And the spokes are, well, posting on Facebook, posting on Twitter, posting on Pinterest, posting on Snapchat, and then, you've got TikTok, right? And LinkedIn, and then Instagram, okay? So now you have all this interconnectedness, and you're doing so with this YouTube here. You're taking this content that you put some time into. It could be something like a daily Q&A or a daily vlog, or whatever your content strategy is for that one platform, and you can disperse that to all these other social media channels and not spend so much time creating new content for each platform. And what you're doing essentially is you're chunking out your main piece so that it fits into like Facebook. So for Instagram, it might be, you could do like a short reel from that YouTube piece. You could do the thumbnail could be an image that you post, right? It's something that you're repurposing. You're repurposing content that you've already spent time creating rather than reinventing the wheel. And this is going to help you with scale in terms of tapping in all these platforms. For Twitter, you could have like a thought on the YouTube piece that you've created. You repost the YouTube video. I always like to create content that relates to the platform, because links are fine and all of that. You can add links. You could post multiple times, right? It's like, here's 1, 2, 3 pieces of content that took no effort whatsoever to really create, and yet they provide tremendous value for their respective platforms. Like Twitter is a very short form type of platform. Pinterest, again, you can have like thumbnail from a YouTube, or it could be a screenshot of part of the YouTube video, something that you really enjoyed. Facebook, you've got stories, you've got images, you've got live, take the video and repurpose live. YouTube, you can take that YouTube, download it, and add it to Facebook Watch. So all these new platforms, TikTok, you can take a snippet of it. So now what you've done is you've taken YouTube, or whichever your platform is. Oh, I almost forgot. Your blog, right? You can take this YouTube and really leverage this one piece. And basically what this means is, I'm just gonna draw a little graph here. Your motivation over time typically will go down. Motivation. Time. Your motivation over time is going to go down if you have to create new content for every single platform, right? And you don't really want to lose motivation on your content strategy. So it helps that you're focusing on one platform, okay, which in this case, YouTube. And that's going to help kind of keep your motivation steady. And that's what you want. Because you don't really want to spend a bunch of time on these other platforms. Maybe you don't really care about Snapchat or LinkedIn. You don't really want to put time into it, but you want to be present on those platforms. Well, now you can really focus on this hub and spoke strategy, which allows you to create dozens of pieces of content while really focusing in on your hub, right? Where you're really trying to build that following. This is just going to help you in terms of diversification of your social media and your reach, and just tapping into the audiences that you can tap into. And this is just something that really only takes like an hour. Like after you've created the main piece, it's only going to take about an hour to repost to the other platforms. So the time is not really invested. But say you went to the spray and pray approach that we already talked about, your motivation, which is really important, it's really going to decline quickly because it's going to be tough to keep that up, especially if you're a solopreneur or you're just starting off and it all depends on you. Maybe down the road, if you have a social media specialist, you can invest in new pieces of content, but even then, you don't really have to. So that's essentially it. That's the hub and spoke in a nutshell. Now, to make this easy on you, you want to make like a little checklist, okay? And it's a really simple checklist. So this is something that you can follow on a schedule daily. And first checkbox should be your hub piece. So in this case, YouTube. And then your other pieces are, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. So depending on which platforms you use, right? So make a list of all the platforms you want to post to. And then it makes sense, once you've created your YouTube, checkbox that. Again, you can use a note app or whatever. And then once you finish that, then, you usually have notes on your checkbox, like link. Just so you know that this is what you're posting to Twitter and this is what you're posting to Facebook. So, you posted the link on Twitter and then you checkbox that. Facebook, you've added full-on video, checkbox that. So you've created yourself a daily checklist that you can follow. Okay, now your checklist is going to be different from someone else's, depending on what kind of content strategy you've created in terms of your hub. But that's going to help you, again, keep this motivation going over time, and that's what you want. Okay, and then you, as a small business, or any business really, will see scalable success. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. Hopefully that helps out. That's the hub and spoke strategy of marketing. Best of luck.